All right there.
I believe we are. It's going
Are
on.
we LIVE?
I believe we are. No, hold on. Okay, yeah, there it is. It's getting there. Okay, yeah, we're live. We're live now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. And who are you, jock sniffers and AEW doubters? This is the one and only rawest, most authentic, yet a little controversial, but a whole lot of fun professional wrestling podcast known as three letters DVP, otherwise known as the
The Dear Vince podcast,
Dear
straight
Vince
up.
podcast, straight up the wrestling. Hold on, let me rephrase. The Wednesday night wrestling wars have begun, and you already know DVP was going to be in the thick of it. We've been talking about this ever since Double or Nothing, and now it's here. We just experienced the first episode of AEW freaking Dynamite,
Yeah,
and I got three
yeah.
letters for that. WOW. Like,
Yep,
wow. But before we get
definitely.
in, but before
Mhm.
we get into all that, of course, we cannot be disrespectful. We got to introduce ourselves. If I can talk tonight, first off, y'all know me, still the same OG with a pillow key. No, I'm just playing. No, I just love that verse from what was that? Forgot about Dre. But anyway,
Yeah.
no, I'm the rest of the mastermind. Yours truly, George Kennebrew. And of course, I have my esteemed, wild, no filter, no nonsense, Mr. I hate women's wrestling himself,
Oh yeah.
I will admit. But I should say not I will admit, but he has to admit the women's match tonight was a damn good one. Mr. Aaron Gordon.
It
AG.
was. It was
What the
alright.
hell is
It
what the
was
hell is
alright.
going on, man?
What up? Who are you as Beer Drink, man? This is the Dear Vince podcast. You don't know if you saw it. Not file named it, titled it 16.5 because, like I said, this isn't gonna be a full Dear Vince podcast. We're just pretty much
Yeah.
talking about AEW Dynamite on TNT tonight, so it's gonna be a quick, short, and sweet one. But we do have a
Mhm.
lot of good shit to talk about, as you saw in the thumbnail.
Yes,
Who
we do.
showed up at the end of the show?
That boy, we
Jake.
the people, Jake
We the
Hager,
people.
aka Jack
Jack
Swagger,
Swagger.
in the
Word. That was
WWE in another lifetime.
hell yeah.
Let
And
me
that
tell you
was
something.
that was dope. Uh-huh.
Let me tell you something, man. That is a big son bitch. Okay,
Yeah, it is. Yep.
I thought that guy was 6'5", but
Mhm.
actually my mother was in the room watching it with me, and she actually hit up Siri, and Siri actually told her that Jake Hager is 6'7". I did not know that.
No, I didn't know that either.
I thought he was a rare. And I'm just like, man, he is a gigantic dude. And then
Yeah.
like you saw him tower literally over everybody.
No, yeah. He's probably one of the biggest dude. Him and Luchasaurus probably signed to the AEW now.
Yeah, yeah,
And
man.
I say them two and Nyla Rose. But
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, man, it was definitely a good. It was almost it almost had the feel of like damn pay-per-view. It was just dope, man. Like
It
I
was.
was just watching it from beginning to end. Like the first match, as I called it, I knew that was gonna be the match to watch. Was Sammy Guevara and Cody.
Hmm.
What a great match!
What
The
an
thing that
awesome match.
yeah, I love that match. I like the fact that you could truthfully tell that Sammy Guevara was gonna. I mean, because he's always been kind of a heel,
Hmm.
but you never did really know like what they were gonna really introduce him as, and that was a good thing about this first show is like it really filled in a lot of blanks and let us know that oh no, we're gonna have good versus bad, you know what I'm saying, good versus evil over here too, and I really like how they established that shit off the rip,
Yeah,
definitely.
man. Yeah,
But
man. It was
what'd you think of the match?
man. Just from the outset, I thought it was high impact. I figured that Sammy Guevara would, get his, high risk shit in. He looked good doing it. Cody Rhodes played the role of, the big man very
Mm-hmm.
well. Had some nice power moves on display. I also love the fact that Cody showed a little bit of athleticism
Yeah,
and a little bit of agility into
yeah,
this match.
he definitely
Um,
flew around a little bit, definitely.
Right. And I also love, and you remember I told you this a few months back when we were talking about the lead up to AEW Dynamite. And I remember telling you, AG, one of the main ways that AEW was going to separate themselves from the WWE's was innovation. And we saw that personified tonight in the AEW ring, particularly in this match with Rhodes and Guevara. I mean,
Yeah.
that reverse suplex
Oh
off the
yeah.
top was a thing of beauty. That springboard cutter that Guevara
Yeah.
hit in the middle of the match was awesome. I
Cody
love
even hit one, not a springboard, but Cody even hit a
a
kind of
cutter.
a weird ass cutter. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also love that disaster kick from Cody. That's very badass. Like
Yeah, definitely.
I hope he uses that as one of his signature maneuvers, as one of his main spots in his matches. I don't want him to use it too much because I don't want the specialty of the move to die out.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
ever so often, maybe like for like a championship match, just like a high stakes match, he pulls that move out because he looks really good doing that. Also, I love the fact of how Cody made his comeback in the
Yeah.
match when Sammy Guevara had control or whatnot. It was a very evenly matched bout. It could have went either way, and I also love the fact that how AEW teased the fact that Sammy Guevara could have beaten Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, yeah.
And most importantly, this is another thing that I love too, AG, and I think you didn't mention this at the very beginning. I love the fact that in AEW, you don't have to win a match with your signature move. You can win a match with a regular wrestling move because Cody, to his credit, won the match with a small package. You know, we didn't see the crossroads.
Yeah.
You know, he simply just, used his intelligence.
But it was just a good ending. Like that's what I liked about it too. It was just a quick ending, almost like kind of like Pac and
Hangman.
Yeah. Pac and Heyman had a good end.
That was a hard hitting match, boy.
Yeah.
Like like when me and Moms were down there looking at that, like and one thing, Moms had pointed out to me was that she says the match, unlike, the WWE type match, she said the match was very believable. Her intelligence was not insulted. It was way more mature than what she's used to seeing in WWE. I agree with her wholeheartedly. Like, the match, it was very it was intense. There was some stiffness involved, as you would come to expect with Pac, especially. I love the fact that Hangman Page, was able to stand toe to toe with him, instead of, succumbing to the physicality of Pac like so many other opponents have in the past. And I love the finish of the match too. Again, he didn't win the match with the Black Arrow. He won it with the Brutalizer, and the fact that, he choked out, or not choked out, but he rendered another opponent unconscious. I really like that.
That's the thing, though. It didn't really
didn't
look like he was unconscious. I think it may have been like a verbal
submission.
Yeah, because it didn't seem like he was out.
Well, that's what
I was wondering. I'm like, hold up, man. I mean, I hate it when it's like that. Like the ref should have kind of went down and like, oh shit, yeah. The ref kind of didn't really sell. It is what it is. That's one I gotta watch it back. I actually even got the replay on playing right now.
Yeah, I do too. I'm
gonna jump in there and watch it after we're done.
Right, but I think what happened was with that finish is, I think because you remember the lead up to that finish was Pac doing a low blow. You remember he low blowed Hangman Page, and being that Hangman Page took so much of the brunt, or took the brunt, I should say, of that low blow, it kind of took the steam out of him. So with that being said, Pac was able to drag him into the position he wanted, and then he came off the top with the Black Arrow. And I think because he crashed down on Hangman Page so much and with so much force, I think that's what kind of rendered Hangman unconscious to where he could just slap on the brutalizer. And I
Mhm.
think Earl Hebner was like, well, he took the brunt of that Black Arrow so hard, he
Mhm.
figured like, hey, he probably didn't even have the consciousness to verbally say I quit or I
Yeah.
give up. So Earl Hebner was like, well, he's out. Because that's
Yeah.
that's a big blow he just took. On top of that, he's in this spine tingling submission hold, or this bone crushing submission hold, and he's like, well, obviously he's out
Yeah.
because he took that move so bad, and I might as well just call it off because he definitely can't defend himself. So I think it was a referee stoppage. I believe that's
Mm.
what I chalk it up as, a referee stoppage instead of a
Either way,
verbal. Yeah, either way,
great
it was a
match,
badass
great
finish.
ending.
Yeah,
I was
man.
glad that they didn't end it lame.
Right,
Shout out to Shawnee Mack that was in here, or that may still be in here. Shout
right.
out to Shannon Morgan. I popped up a couple of your comments.
Shawnee Mack, glad
Definitely
to have you back.
AEW. Hell yeah, AEW definitely coming up on TNA and WW. They got to move way different.
Yep.
Um, then Shannon went on to say that he wished that AEW would acquire people like Brian Cage, or you mean Brian Gage? Bro, maybe Brian Cage. I gotta look it up.
It's Brian Cage. I know
Brian
what you're
Cage,
talking
and
about.
then
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley is not going to happen because he's just now got involved in a whole crazy angle that I'm pretty sure they were running with. It's going to be edgy. We're not going to get on that because that's going to be
No.
on the full podcast. But
Right.
definitely shout out Sean Redfield.
What's up, Sean?
Yeah, I see you saw the whole show as well.
It was a great show.
It is what it is. It was just a good
Badass
ass
show,
fucking
man.
show. I definitely fuck with it. Got
Right.
Raw and Nitro flashbacks. Hell yeah, you did. You did. I got the exact same feeling as far as like that Raw, like back when it was Raw and Nitro, the Monday Night Wars. But the one thing that I really was impressed about AEW this time around was the production
Yeah.
and like the
Hey,
camera angles. They
Keith,
didn't miss
Keith
a camera
Mitchell.
angle.
Keith Mitchell, shout out to him. For those of you that do not know who Keith Mitchell is, as AG just alluded to, in WCW, he was one of the main guys that was over the camera production quality of WCW. And it was a smart move by Tony Khan and Cody and them to add him on to their camera production team.
Oh
And
yeah.
you see the results tonight. Way better production from a camera standpoint.
Yep.
They made every moment matter. I mean, even I'll tell you one of the best shots to me, and I'm gonna,
When he threw him through the turnbuckle. When he
yeah.
threw
Not
him through
only
the
that,
that one
that
was
was
crazy.
dope. That was
Mhm.
dope too. But
Mhm.
the one camera angle that stood out to me, and I think you'll agree with me on this, AG. And I'm gonna skip to the main event real quick. Was when that spot where it seemed like Kenny Omega was about to do his dive. I believe that was on either Santana or Ortiz. He was in position, and then all of a sudden, you just see like over Kenny Omega's shoulder,
Oh,
out creeps up John Moxley. That was
yeah.
great. That was
Yeah.
great how they panned the camera just close enough over Kenny Omega's shoulder where you could see Moxley slither into the ring and come up from behind Kenny Omega. That was picture perfect. Well done, AEW camera
man.
crew.
AEW is doing everything right, straight up. Like because that was the whole thing with this one, especially being the first
Yeah,
episode. I was looking at it like, okay, I'm just gonna watch it
yeah, me too.
without trying to find something wrong with it.
Right,
But it's so simple. Like whenever you're watching, especially a whole new whatever package deal,
right.
it's easy to find it. But like they batted a flawless, I think, a damn near flawless fucking show.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Out of
damn near.
100%, out of 100%, I give it 98. Like I didn't. I mean, the only things that I would like have taken out was just the shit that I don't really fuck with as far as wrestling. So as far as everything else,
Yeah.
it was a great fucking show.
And you know what?
A1, exactly.
And you know what and you know another thing that I loved about the main event, and this is so, and you and me know this the most, is that in professional wrestling today, when you're talking about building storylines, but you only have so much time to build them in a 2-hour broadcast, and this is something that I think SmackDown Live makes a mistake of in terms of you know, building up storylines, for an upcoming, pay-per-view or show or whatever the case may be. I love the fact that AEW was able to build the story further between Omega and Moxley and
Mm-hmm.
still not take away from the
The
match
match. Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah.
Bucks and Jericho and Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but I love the fact that when Moxley appeared and him and Omega, started having, their little scrap, in the crowd, I love the fact of how, they took a few minutes out to focus on that,
Yeah.
they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish with Moxley, beating down Omega. And then, he gives them, the Death Rider through the glass table,
Mm-hmm.
which was badass all in itself.
Yeah, well.
Um, I hope Kenny Omega is okay and Moxley. I thought they damn near killed each other with that. But I love the fact how they took the time out of the match to focus on that. Then when they came back from commercial break, they went right back to the Jericho, Ortiz, Santana, and Young
Mm-hmm.
Bucks match. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call building storylines smoothly. That was a
Yeah,
smooth transition.
definitely. And
Because
then
any
even
other
and then even
time,
another thing is part of just storylines, just even how we had kind of touched on earlier, how Sammy Guevara in the first match, like you can just feel that he was going to like take an extra step towards being even more of a heel than his character already is. Because like I said, I watch his vlog for maybe a couple years on YouTube.
mm-hmm.
And I've seen like even in the indies, like he comes off as like the arrogant, like asshole type of wrestler.
Yeah.
And as soon as he came back in after Cody, whatever won, whatever shook the hand, I'm like, oh, I already know something has to be up. But
Yeah. That
I
was a good
didn't think that it
setup.
would be that. Yeah, it was a real good setup, and I love the way they did that. And that because that was another funny thing that kind of put me in the mind of you know what, I think Sammy Guevara may be working with him because after having that great match with Cody and shaking the hand and showing the signs of respect, when Jericho jumped him, it seems as if he wouldn't have just gotten the hell out of there. It seems as if he would at least try to break it up or, you know, kind of help Cody and jumped on Jericho. He was
Right.
quick to just slide on out of the way and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And then we saw exactly what came back at the end of the show. So yeah, they
And
did
you
it
know
real
what else?
sly and slick. I like it.
And you know what else? And again, going back to the excellent camera production and just the camera work in general in AEW. At first, we didn't know what the hell was going on. We knew when we saw the crowd stand up, we
Yeah.
knew somebody was coming, but we
Mm-hmm.
didn't know it was Jericho. And I loved how the AEW camera crew manipulated us and
Mm-hmm.
did not pan the camera out too far to make it
Mm-hmm.
obvious that Jericho was coming in to attack Cody. They
Yeah.
kept it right on Guevara and Cody Rhodes. And like you said,
Mhm.
they built it up to where, Guevara and Cody, were shaking hands and showing signs of respect, and then all of a sudden the crowd came up on their feet, but the camera angle didn't go nowhere. They stayed at home, and then all of a sudden, boom! Jericho
Yep.
slides right into the
It was
shot.
just time. Yep,
Attacks
timed
Cody.
perfectly. Just
Great,
timed perfectly.
great,
Yep.
awesome, man,
And another
awesome.
one thing, like I said, because I guess we need to go ahead and get to like I think 2 or the 3 of the matches. But I
Yeah,
noticed, as far as doing video and photo and shit like that, that the camera quality, because that was the one thing I was looking at too, like, oh fuck, man, because I hate I love watching being the elite as far as the stories and as far as like the build ups and like the action. Pretty much, I like what being the elite is, but a lot of times, as I said before, like whoever edits it, like they render it wrong sometimes, where when you have like a bunch of movement, you see ripples in the video. I was like, oh, I hope it ain't no dumb shit like that. But
right.
also the SCU,
Oh,
the SCU promo outside of
that was
outside
awesome.
of the
That
Washington
was awesome.
Monument, that shit
I
was super
love that
clean,
shit.
and it
I
looks
love that
super
shit.
clean. Like you can tell
It
that they
did.
use either a red cam or some, like they really did step up their game as
Yeah.
as far as production and like even the camera quality on that shit. Like it was A1. Like, and that's
And
what I
you
was telling my daughter as we were watching. I was like, does this not look just as good as Raw? Like it has its own different feel because of course they have their own lighting, they
Right.
have a whole different venue and
Right.
everything else. But this shit looks on par with Raw. And I
It
liked it.
does.
Like I really enjoyed it. What's up, Gorilla Strong, man? What's cracking, man?
Gorilla
I know
Strong.
you
What's
had to
going
pop
on,
back in
man?
for the MJF, my dude, too, man.
Yeah,
He's fucking
man.
crazy with it. And you notice out of everybody, he had they had to give him the mic before he jumped in the
Oh,
ring.
of course they did. Of course they did. But I want to go back to something real quick
Mm-hmm.
that you mentioned about SCU. And this is another thing that I loved about the overall presentation of AEW. They definitely stuck to their word in
Mm-hmm.
saying that they were going to give it that sports oriented
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere. Because if you notice, after Cody beat Sammy Guevara, Tony Schiavone was already in the ring getting ready to interview Cody. I love that. I love
Yeah.
the fact of how they're interviewing the wrestlers after they're done with their matches. The same thing with SCU after that beautiful promo
Mm-hmm.
video by SCU. You know, they cut back to the
Yeah.
arena and
Really
SCU
good.
is already on the stage with Tony Schiavone
Mm-hmm.
and Tony's interviewing him. I mean, they really
Professional. It was just
right.
it's clean transitions.
It is. It
Just
is.
one, just crazy, just clean production. Like the value of this show,
Right.
and the fucked up thing about it is this is show number one. It's only
It's
going
show
to
number
get better.
one.
And then the
Right.
thing too that you said as far as giving it like that whole sports aspect, like they even had when Pac was coming out. And I
See,
didn't expect them to do that. I didn't
yeah,
expect them to actually have the records, and it may get a little time consuming and
yeah,
irritating for
yeah.
them longer down the road, but I'm pretty sure it won't because they probably have a guy in production that's just in charge of what overlay goes up on the screen, so it shouldn't get that. But anyway, it's just a good it's good. Like
It
to
is.
be honest, they don't even have to keep the records around because when it's all said and done, they're gonna go away. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm
That's
pretty
true.
sure they have house shows
I personally,
and
I
black
personally like
dark
it.
shows that yeah, I like it, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna be able to really they'll be able to
Maintain it.
keep up with it maybe, but they're not gonna maintain it because like you said, you have dark shows, you have
Yeah,
show like undercard shows that where guys that maybe haven't even made a debut. Maybe they had a couple matches today that
yeah.
just didn't air before. When they
Right.
do make their big debut, is it gonna say that they're 1-0, or are they gonna say that it was amateur?
Zero,
Like,
zero. Yeah.
yeah, some shit like that. But they're killing it, man. I'm fucking with it. I'm
And then
fucking.
on top of that, too, the other thing that I loved about that SCU segment was the fact when the Lucha Brothers came out, like it didn't seem rehearsed. It did not seem predictable because
Mm-mm.
again, going back and again, man, the AEW camera crew, I gotta say, are the MVPs of this show because they
Mm-hmm.
really made this whole first episode as different as it could possibly be. Because again, as Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian are talking, again, just that subtle pan over
Mm-hmm.
to the left, and then out of that peripheral pan to the left, you see Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. come out the tunnel. Like that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah,
they just come out and just grab the mic. Like
yeah,
you didn't it wasn't any obvious, gestures or facial expressions,
yeah. Just
uh
happened. Just
it just
boom.
happened. It just
Mm-hmm.
happened. Like they just
Hey,
came out.
Gorilla Strong just said that they timed MJF's promo at the same time of Finn Balor coming back to NXT. I didn't know that happened tonight on NXT. Did
Yeah,
he come back to NXT, or did they announce that Finn Balor was
no, he
coming back?
I
That's
believe
pretty
I
cool.
believe Finn Balor, came back to NXT. I turned to just the last bit, like the ending segment of NXT, and it also turns out, I don't know if you know this, AG, but it turns out that Tommaso Ciampa is now back in
Oh, really?
NXT because him and Adam Cole had a little face off at the top of the ramp as the show was closing.
Oh,
So
okay. See, I'm
apparently
gonna watch
Tommaso
that.
Ciampa is
I got
back.
the last 45 minutes of the show because I forgot all fucking about it. I was like, yo, I'm gonna just watch. I'm like, hold up, man, I forgot them NXT. They
I
have
said,
the
man, listen, I'm
yeah.
watching. dude.
just straight through. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
what I
was like,
did.
dude, like I'm
Mhm.
not watching. I said I could go watch NXT on the network.
Mhm.
Like I'm not worried about NXT. Like I'm watching AEW tonight.
Damn,
Tonight is all about
Finn,
AEW Dynamite.
definitely. That
Yeah,
was me too. So Finn
yeah.
Balor debuted at NXT. That's crazy. I'm definitely gonna give that a check. I'm gonna have to definitely give that a look. Gorilla
Oh yeah.
Strong, you know that NWA is back. They did
Hmm.
2 television tapings here in Atlanta at the Georgia Public Broadcasting studio.
Right.
They did 2 of them there. Jim Cornette is actually part of it. I'm not sure if he's calling it or if he's just being like a.
Yeah, I
I
heard
think he's
that Jim
calling. Yeah.
Cornette. Yeah, Jim
Hmm.
Cornette is a color. I think he's the color guy.
Hmm.
If I wanna be correct there.
Yep.
So yeah,
So NWA is back. Actual NWA, 10 pounds of gold, man. That shit's crazy. Definitely go to NWA's YouTube channel.
yeah,
They actually do little mini vlogs and like they did a really good kind of like a short film called 10 Pounds of Gold.
yeah.
And what I
Those are
believe his name
good.
is Nick Aldis, that shit was great. I fuck with that hella hard. So that like shit, man. That's what I'm saying. Now is the time to be a wrestling fan. If you're just now
Definitely,
coming back to be a wrestling fan, definitely
definitely.
don't bat your eyes or don't close your eyes. Don't blink because we got AEW. We got NXT trying to fucking knock off AEW. You got WWE, which is
WWE,
the fucking that's the machine that's trying to like. And then we got TNA
TNA.
in the background, but then we got NWA, and
Wait.
NWA is going to be a sleeper because
Hmm.
that is like the most prestigious wrestling title in the history of professional wrestling. I believe, and a lot of other people believe. Some may say the New Japan Pro or the IWGP belt, but I think that the NWA title is the most prestigious and important belt.
Oh
And
yeah,
the fact that they're bringing it back, and it looks like the original NWA belt is just going to be a dope ass throwback to like just to be able to watch wrestling just about every other day of the week. You
hmm,
got Monday, okay, you can skip a Tuesday. You got Wednesday, you got 2 shows. Thursday, nothing. Friday, you got shows. Saturday, if AEW has a pay-per-view, it's going to be on a Saturday.
and then
Sunday, you
Sunday
got
WWE.
WWE.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And then it
It's a
goes,
great time.
and then it goes all around
Way
again.
back around.
And then another beautiful thing about it is that us here at the Dear Fence podcast are going to be covering all the shit. So that makes it even better.
Yep, Billy Kurgan. Yeah, it's crazy. Billy Kurgan, the Smashing Pumpkins, is still the president of the new NWA.
Yep.
People watching, tweet this out and give
Yes,
Beer
sir.
Drink a like. Definitely, I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
man.
Gorilla
Thank you.
Strong, it's me,
Thank
Beer
you.
Drink, and George Kennebrew, the wrestling mastermind. This is the Dear Vince podcast. Go ahead and share this thing out. This is
Yeah, man.
episode 16.5.
Episode
This isn't a full episode.
16.5.
We're
Right.
only on
AEW Dynamite tonight.
Let's get back to these matches. We're gonna get back to these matches and we can close this thing out. But
Right.
as y'all already here,
Right.
we were impressed. We were definitely impressed. We've been on
Definitely
here
impressed.
this whole
Yeah.
time. All we're doing is giving props to the damn production, and
Yep.
that's my whole thing. Is like we had to fucking give at least 20 minutes on production because that
Yeah.
was the thing that really kind of blew my mind. I'm like, this shit looks it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. It looks better than NXT's show so far. The production
Yeah.
value is better
Yeah.
than NXT. The cameras, I think they use even better cameras. Like I think that it looks better. It could even be the light, and I think it looks better than the NXT branded show
Because here's the thing, like
already.
when you compare the NXT production to the AEW production, I just think with with NXT production,
Mhm.
I think because NXT is in that one little space at Full Sail,
Mhm.
I think like we've been so used
Yeah,
to
yeah.
seeing that on the WWE network and being that okay, yeah, it's on live cable television now.
Yeah.
I still don't think anything has changed. I still think
Yeah.
everything is pretty much the same. I think the only thing now is that they have commercial breaks, and I guess if you got a flat screen TV, I guess the promos and shit look better on the flat screen. But when you talk about AEW's camera work, it's like, dude, WWE's not fucking with them subtle pans. Like when people are making appearances,
Yeah.
WWE NXT is not fucking with that. I'm sorry.
Not yet.
And I got love for
Not yet.
NXT,
That's what I'm
but they're
saying.
not
Not
messing
yet,
with
because
that.
they got somebody watching, and they may bite. Like, that's my thing. Like, you're gonna see WWE kind of adopt new fucking tactics
Oh, of course.
about the smallest things, like camera work, like about the smallest thing that we've been talking about, like camera angles and
Mhm.
like different transitions that the normal wrestling fan or the casual or the newer wrestling fan isn't
Wouldn't pay
really going
attention
to.
to.
Yeah, they're not going to pay attention because they can't differentiate it from another show or
Right.
from how it was 5 years ago, how it was 10 years ago. So
Right.
they could definitely take some of it, and then a lot of people would think, "Damn, I love what WWE's doing with this episode," not
Mhm.
understanding that they shark that shit. So that's
Yeah,
what you're gonna see. AEW are innovators, man. This shit,
they
my
are.
thing, like I'm on board. I'm on board, and
I
we've
am.
been on board, and I've been on board. But after this first episode and how great it went, and just how they established their stars already,
Yep.
like even shit, what's his name? Cornball that MJF beat.
Oh, you talking about Brandon Cutler?
Brandon Cutler. He had a good fucking day. That was a good debut for a singles match. I don't know if
Yeah.
that was a real botch or not. I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
It
You know
might
what
have
I'm saying?
been. It could
I
have
mean,
been.
I thought it was, but I put it this way. I thought it was for sure as it happened, but the match ended so quick afterwards, and it ended so clean afterwards, where it kind of made me think that like this is going to be a kind of continuation thing. I think they're going to have him and MJF go back and forth a couple times. So that's another question, real quick, and I'm glad that I even got to that point. Where in the fuck was MJF the two times that Cody was getting jumped on?
Mm. Mm.
That's his best
Mm.
friend. Where the fuck
Yeah.
was MJF?
Mm. See,
Yeah, that's what I'm
that's
saying. They
something.
building storylines. It's like they're
Right.
building, like you have the center, and then it's just all these fucking sticks that are interconnecting,
And
interwebbing.
and another thing that I like about it too, I like the fact that what you were saying about them, establishing their
Have a
stars
good
in
one,
terms.
Sean. Have a good one, Sean Redfield. Sean Redfield out.
Have a
Getting
good
back to work.
Have a good one, Sean. Good night, buddy. Thank you for tuning in and showing us love, man. Make sure you share, this on your YouTube page and all of your social media. Tell people about the Dear Vince podcast, man. We're here and we're not going anywhere. But
That's what's up.
getting back to what I was saying, um, about what you were talking about in terms of them establishing their stars in terms of the villains and the heroes. I love the fact, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, AG, but I love the fact that they didn't have to have all of the major stars on this one episode. They didn't have to
Mm-mm.
bunch and jam pack everybody in on
Mhm.
one episode. And you know what that's a testament to? That is a testament to, number one, how much depth they have. And
Mhm.
number two, that shows maturity. And that shows me that Tony Khan and them are like, you know what? We can take our time with this thing.
Mhm.
We're here on TNT. We're not going anywhere. We're in here for the long haul. And we got, 2 or 3 months before, the next pay-per-view to establish all of our stars on this roster. So
Yeah.
tonight, I would say was kind of like a sample size. You
Mhm.
got to see, of course, the elite. You got to see Kenny Omega, the Bucks, Cody, Jericho, Moxley, whoop de whoop. But
Mhm.
you also got to see, the people as you mentioned, like the Brandon Cutlers, like
Mhm.
the Maxwell Jacob Friedmans, like the Pox, the Hangman
Mhm.
Pages,
Mhm.
even Santana, and Ortiz,
Yeah, yeah.
formerly known as LAX. You know what I'm
Wasn't they
saying?
from TNA or some shit?
Yeah, they were. That's where they just came from. But I just love the fact of how AEW is kind of going with this domino effect of,
Yeah.
we're just gonna let things steadily fall into place. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna give you all of the best stars in one episode. We're gonna save a little bit for the
Mhm.
next week and the next week and the next week. Because this week, the focus was on, the women's title with Riho and Nyla Rose.
Let's talk
And
about it. Let's talk about it. Because
okay,
shit, we've hit up every match but this one,
yeah.
and the
I thought it
what
was
we
a
talking
I
about?
thought it was a I thought it was a dramatic emotionally charged match, you know.
It was. I mean, it definitely it was a bunch of cliffhangers in it, and it was
It was.
definitely a bunch of I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning of this match, I went outside, I lit me a cigarette, I popped a beer, and I was like, "Fuck this match. I'm not even really worried about it." But then I came back in, it was still on, and I kind of heard, truthfully, the crowd wasn't really behind it at first,
Right.
and it may have been booed. I'm not sure what the fuck it was, but it was definitely a weird vibe in there at first. But then as the match went, it just kind of went upward and upward to where I'm like actually sitting there, open another beer, and I'm actually watching. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a decent match, but like I said, I'm just gonna call it a wrestling match. That's as much as I'm gonna
No,
do for
I
this
mean
one. You know, yeah,
that's really what it was. I mean,
yeah.
it was a pure wrestling match. I mean,
No,
you know, it
I'm
wasn't.
just saying, I'm not gonna get. I'll put it this way. I'm not gonna. What do you call it? I'm not gonna dissect it as far as the why I didn't like it.
Oh
You know what I'm saying?
no, I mean,
I'm gonna
I'll
just
take
say it
that.
just flat. I'm gonna just say it flat that it was a good match and it really surprised me. But I just
I understand.
I didn't really
I
damn,
mean,
what's the word?
I
Yeah,
would see why you feel that way, but I'm just saying,
mhm,
just me personally, you know, you speaking on being that, you know, you just saw it as, you know, a pure wrestling match. I saw it too. But the thing that I loved about it the most is that, you know, it wasn't over the top. It wasn't too much shenanigans involved. It was just two women competing for, you know, the top prize in the AEW women's division, and that
yeah.
is the AEW women's championship. And for the simple fact,
I'm glad that Riho won though. I could at least say that I'm glad that Riho won the first women. I could say that kind of condescending and assholeish, and maybe people could just fill in the line. I'm glad that Riho won the first women's title for AEW. I'll just say that. I'm glad that Riho
I got it. I got it.
won.
I got it. I get
Yeah.
it now. I get it. It took me a minute, but I got it. All right. But or as my mother liked to call her, the flying Barbie.
Exactly. No, she's like a flying. She's so small.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I didn't get. Like, and that okay. Look, that's one that there's not a bias or a anything to where somebody could kill me in a comment section. Just how small she is.
Yeah.
Like
See,
she's little. Yeah.
my mother
Mhm.
was saying that she felt like her intelligence was insulted because, you know, this
That
small ass girl beat this
exactly.
big beast of a woman
And
in
that
Nyla Rose.
and that's what I'm saying because you said it. She said that as far as like okay, it's a mature show, but that was the only part. That was the only portion of the
Yeah.
show to where it was. I'm like, there's no
It wasn't
fucking way.
registering. It wasn't
Yeah.
registering.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
know, and the thing of it is too, I agree with both of y'all. Like I definitely did not agree with that call of Riho winning the championship because I'm thinking like, okay, you built up Nyla Rose to this point by having her win the Casino Battle Royal back at All Out,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, you just had her, you know, look so dominant, you know, up
Yeah.
to this point, and then to not pull the trigger on her,
Yeah.
and give her the belt,
Yeah.
and then
But
on
I'm
top,
glad they didn't give it a belt. I'm glad they gave it to Rio. I'm glad they gave it my home girl Rio. But yeah, y'all get back in the comments. Y'all still in here watching. I'm glad they gave it to Rio. I'm glad
I
Rio's
know
the first
why.
women's
Now I know
title
why you're
holder.
glad.
But
Now I
yeah,
know why you're glad they didn't give it
I
to
know you
Nyla
know
Rose.
why. I know you know why I'm glad. Hey, but you know one thing that I
You need
will
to
say.
quit. You need
No,
to quit.
no. Look, the only way that they should have made Rio win the women's title cleanly is when they were doing all that outside shit. Say when Nyla did the flip and landed on those chairs. I think that she should have won by count out or something. Like she should have shot in the ring as fast as she could, or maybe jumped out, did another fucking off the apron stomp onto her while she was still on there,
Yeah.
maybe to the head, and then run in there and then just have the ref counter out to 10.
Now
That would have been cleaner.
that would have been a much more protective finish
Yeah,
for
for both
Nyla
of them.
Rose instead of her taking a clean pinfall loss.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I will agree with, but
Yeah.
you know, I think it just chalks up to the fact that I think everybody kind of assumed that Nyla Rose was going to win this. So I guess Khan and Rhodes and the rest of them was like, all right, well, let's do let's do the unpredictable. Let's do the
Just-
unthinkable.
We'll
Nobody
give the
thinks that,
belt to this girl.
that's what
I
I'm
guess we'll
saying.
give the belt to the girl. Fuck it.
Yeah, because
Fuck
nobody
it.
thinks. And you know what? I'll give him credit too. Now you got to give him credit on this, AG.
Yeah.
Looking at the countdown to Dynamite, that
Mhm.
was a good ass. That was a good ass um promo video that they did on
Or-
Riho.
Yeah, that was
I
real good. It
they
was
they
real.
built up
Yeah.
a nice story with Riho, and I
Randy
love
Matthews, pro wrestling. Yes, sir.
exactly. And I love the fact that, they actually had her tell her story about, how, you know, her being so small, everybody expects her to be weak, and, nobody really gives her a chance. So this actually, to be honest with you, now that I think about it, this actually played into the logic of that story that was told on the countdown yesterday. Because she even said it herself. Rio even said it herself. Everybody thinks that I'm weak. Nobody gives me a chance. And she even said, being that she's the smallest woman in the room or in the locker room in AEW, she was even saying that makes her training that much more severe. But she said because of that, and because she survived all of that, she has the confidence and she's not as worried, about people doubting her. So if you actually think about it, AG, it's
Yeah.
all a culmination of the story that they told. I know you don't give two fucks about it, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to bring some logic to
Nah,
the situation.
nah. Another
It's
thing that I like.
AEW, damn it. Everybody deserves a chance,
I
even
guess,
the
man.
small people.
Yeah, it is
Damn
what it
it.
is, man. I guess it is what it is. But I know another.
Small people deserve a chance too. Shit.
I also like that they put a lot of emphasis on Rio training with Kenny Omega, and Kenny Omega's the one that came out there and saved her.
Now that was a nice touch.
Yeah, real
That was
nice.
a nice touch.
Yeah,
I like that.
it showed more of the backstory that they talked about, and
And
that
isn't that
you
so
didn't really see.
refreshing? Isn't that
Exactly.
refreshing?
Mm-hmm.
Storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
WWE, do you see that? That is storytelling. That is the culmination of how you tell a story.
You know what would have?
See that?
How the story would have been even crazier if Kenny Omega would have shot Nyla Rose one of them knees on the apron. That would have been funny as fuck. What do you call what does he call those shits?
The V trigger.
Yeah, the beat. There you go. Man, like I said, I will say it was a good match. Like it definitely it won me over as far as watching the match, but I still don't believe that it is fucking. I got to get off of this. We got to get off of this. What was another match? What was another match, man?
Well,
You want to go Pac? Nah, because that wasn't really much. We already hit on that.
we already hit on that. I guess oh yeah, we didn't even really, I mean, we talked about the ending of the main event, but we never really got into, the actual match itself with Jericho Ortiz versus the Bucks and Omega.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it though, to be honest, because it was so all out, like all around the place.
That's pretty much what you can call it. Yeah, that's pretty much what you can call it. It was basically a fast, high-paced match. I mean, as is with any Young Bucks match. I mean, within the first 5 minutes, first 5 seconds of the match, you're gonna see high risk maneuvers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is not gonna be like your methodical, slow the pace down, work on a body part, technical type of match. It's going to be in your face, action packed, dives all around, that type of thing.
Oh yeah,
but
was it Matt Jackson? He the youngest one. He went on fire for a second.
Yeah, he did. And you know what? I would not mind, even though this is probably a preview of the tag team tournament that we're gonna see next week on AEW Dynamite. Outside of the tournament, I just wouldn't mind seeing the Bucks and Santana and Ortiz just have a go, like on an AEW Dynamite, because those two have damn good chemistry.
Yeah, it'll happen after this whole tournament. They got to get this whole tournament. You know what? Since we done touched just about everything, let's talk about the tournament. Who do you think Who do you have as winning the tournament? I already know that the left side. Fuck the book. The right side. Whoever makes it pass on the right side, they have no. Because I already looked at the pretty much when it was on TV when I was watching. I'm like, yeah, the right side doesn't stand a chance. Whoever makes it to the fucking finals from the left is the winner of the tournament.
Yeah.
Unless you're right about the sleepers.
Talking about the jungle, the Jurassic Express.
Yeah, that's the unless they do something like that. That's the only yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, it's not gonna be. I'll just put it like this: it's not gonna be the obvious because I know you probably still have the Dark Order winning the whole thing because obviously you're very high on them.
I hate the Dark Order.
Oh,
I hate the Dark. I would like to see SCU win the entire thing, but
okay, yeah, all right.
That's from the right side is if it's SCU, I would see, but they're going against Jungle Boy and no, they're versus the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah,
so on the left side. Never mind. So yeah, right. I'm right. So the right side don't stand a chance. The right side on this bracket don't stand a chance.
Well, you know what? Honestly, who I think. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna give you two philosophies. I'm gonna tell you who I want to win this tournament and who I actually think will pretty much end up winning this tournament. Mm-hmm. Who I want to win this tournament is the Jurassic Express because man, those guys are so damn over.
Yeah,
they are like blue flaming hot, man. Like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, like. You can't tell me not one match that you've seen so far from Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus where the crowd has not been electrified. You cannot tell me that. And I
wonder why, to be honest,
because in my opinion, I'll tell you my opinion. Because think about it, like they're a unique team. Like I forgot who it was that said this, but they made a nice comparison. And I don't know if you'll agree with it or not, but I do personally. But Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are kind of like a modern day X-Pac and Kane. Like,
yeah, I get it.
Because the thing of it is, you've got the speed and the athleticism of Jungle Boy mixed with the athleticism and power of Luchasaurus. And just like if you look at these two, if you look at their tandem offense in the ring, when they have like their what I call their clean house spot, okay, when they're just running roughshod over everybody. Like if you look at the way their tandem offense is so quick and so explosive when they're cleaning house, like dude, you can't tell me there's not money in that team. You cannot tell me there's not money in that team. But as much as I want to see them win it, the team that I actually think is going to end up winning this whole thing is the Lucha Brothers.
Lucha Brothers, yeah.
I really think because of the fact that, okay, we know that they're the AAA tag team champions. We know that. But the thing of it is you said it perfectly. Even back at All Out, like how many times are we going to see the AAA tag team championships defended on Dynamite? Like not that much. And the fact that besides the Young Bucks, they're like the second most over team in
the world.
Like, did you hear
another thing that you got to look at it as well is if the Young Bucks were on the other side, but they're on the same side, you know what I'm saying? So it's just not gonna match up that way.
And then on top of that, did you hear the reaction when Pentagon did the Seto Diego? Did you hear the echo?
Oh yeah. Everybody knew exactly what he was saying.
Come on, man. That's it. That should tell you right there.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is, it's a lot of over tag teams in this tournament because you have SCU, you've got the Lucha Brothers, you've got the Jurassic Express.
There's only one that's not. Every tag team in the tournament is, other than the Dark Order.
Yeah,
people don't fuck with the Dark Order, just like I don't fuck with the Dark Order.
So who do you think is actually gonna win in your mind? I know who you want to see win.
Yeah,
but who do you actually think is gonna win in your opinion this tournament?
I'm gonna be honest. SCU.
Really?
I'm gonna say SCU because I think that they're gonna be. Yeah, I'm thinking SCU because
So
I'll
go
put
ahead,
it this
go ahead.
way: of all the tag teams and everybody, um, I just do it like this. It seems that they get more
Reaction?
package time.
Ah,
Like they have more packages. They're pretty much the only. They're the only talent that even had a package on this entire show,
that's a
and
good
it's
point.
promoting next
That's a
week's show, which is the beginning of the tag team
that's
tournament.
a
So,
that's a
yeah,
very good point. I did not think about that at all, but you're definitely right about that.
yeah. I'm
Like,
thinking,
yeah, they are the only tag team that
yeah,
really, gets like the promo videos and
even
yeah,
though
you're
the
right.
Elite, they on every episode, and another
Every
thing,
episode, right?
they even gave them, an announcement tonight to say
Right.
3, which isn't really a big deal. Like for truthfully, they could have even done it just to even get a somewhat of a reaction the day of, but they gave them a. I'll put it this way: they gave them a full promo package in front of the White House or whatever.
Yeah.
Came back, they're on TV, and then they announced which 2 of the 3 is going to be in the thing. So I'm thinking that they probably.
But here's my thing. Here's one thing that we have to understand too, AG, about SCU. And I could very well see that happening, XCU winning this thing and becoming, the first ever AEW tag champions. But let's think about one thing. Let's not forget the fact that Christopher Daniels is an executive.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
double duty can be very, very hard, especially when you're a part of a brand new wrestling organization. So all I'm saying, let's take that into consideration.
So for that, no, okay, because that'll just be another team. That would just be the Young Bucks as far as looking at that. But
There you go.
the thing though about double duty though, it's not the same double duty as if like how I told you the Young Bucks aren't winning the AAA titles because they're not going to Mexico to defend them. They could take the titles anywhere they go to work. So it's nothing for them to damn throw a belt in a fucking bag and show up with it during the match. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's not really that, you know what I'm saying? It's not really that crazy. Like it's pretty much like shit. And they almost look better whipping around in a fucking in a
Pookie.
with a fucking belt or with the belt. You know what I'm saying? So it
Yeah.
is what it is on that.
So
I
I'm
got
guessing.
SCU. Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing we're calling the Lucha Brothers SCU finals in the tag team tournament.
But they're on the same side though, aren't they?
Uh-uh.
Oh, Lucha
Lucha Brothers and SCU in the finals.
Hold up.
Because SCU is on the left side and the Lucha Brothers are on the right side.
Or you mean the Dinosaur Express on the right side? Or the Dinos?
No, the Jurassic Express is on the same side as the Lucha Brothers.
I gotta look this up now. Holy fuck. I done got
He done got tongue tied.
yo, let me see. AEW tag tourney. Let me see. Damn, because yeah, I thought sure that where that shit at, man. That gotta be it because I see the Dark Order shit asses at the bottom, right? Oh, it's just that though. How would I find the only cropped fucking bracket thing?
Wow.
It was cropped with just the fuck. I could share. I ain't gonna share the screen. I'm gonna try to find this hoe real quick.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I think that's a good finals though. SCU and the Lucha Brothers. I think that'd be a damn
I'm
good.
hoping so. Yeah.
I think that'd be a damn good finals. I think they'll definitely tear the roof off the joint. Like
It'll be a sleeper of a finals too because they'll look at it like, oh, SCU versus them, and then they don't understand Christopher Daniels a motherfucker.
He is.
And I was surprised. That was another thing that I was surprised though, is when they made the announcement. I thought sure Scorpio Skies would be in the tournament.
Yeah, you know what? I actually thought it was gonna be Scorpio Sky and Kazarian because I'm thinking like, Daniels is like the talent relations guy, and I'm just like, that's gonna be that's gonna be quite a workload on him trying to work this tournament and still see about talent when he's not wrestling.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, I guess he can handle it. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see.
That's why he is who he is, the fallen angel, baby. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the
all day. He was the man.
Yeah, man.
That's when I quit. Like I think that's the only time I really watched TNA. So that was kind of like back.
Him and AJ Styles, boy.
Yeah, that was like
Woo!
that was way back. The fucking X division when they first introduced the X division.
Yes. And those triple threat matches with him, Styles, and Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious? What? And you can't forget about Ultimate X with Daniels, Styles, Joe, Amazing Red.
I forget the one dude's name that I don't know what the fuck happened to. I know he didn't die. Fuck, Canadian with the Canadian
Oh,
Destroyer.
you talking about Petey? Petey
Petey,
Williams.
Petey Williams. What happened to him?
I
He
want to
retired?
say I want to say he's a producer now in Impact.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Because him, then I remember a dude. What was his name? I don't think he never made it big though. But I always looked at him. I'm like, where the fuck? When is he gonna get signed? It was during that same time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if his name was George Quackenbush. You remember that name, Quackenbush? Hold on,
Not familiar with that.
hold on,
Yeah, you took me way back there.
hold up.
You know some people you knew some people back in TNA that I didn't even know.
He never made the TNA, but he was always almost signed to TNA. Yeah, it was George Quackenbush. Hold on.
Oh, okay. That's a hell of a name. Quackenbush.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think he ended up being like he ended up like being a head trainer or some shit.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Gotcha.
Mike Quackenbush.
Mike
So
Quackenbush.
yeah,
Oh,
Mike.
okay.
Still a stupid name, Mike Quackenbush. The fuck out of here, man. He should have
Yeah.
definitely changed that shit. Oh, look, somebody Dion W corrected me before I even Google it. It was Mike Quackenbush.
Well, there it is. Shout out to Mikey.
No,
that
shout out
awesome-
shout out to Mr. Quackenbush.
I mean, shout out to Dion. Yeah, shout out to Dion for that correction.
Fact check.
Yeah. Beat you
And
right.
Mr.
Beat you to the
Quackenbush.
punch.
That shit crazy.
Yeah, Mike Quackenbush. Wow.
What it is, man.
Yeah.
What we said, man. Okay, I said no. Who do you got winning the fucking turn? What am I doing? You asked me.
I said the Lucha Brothers.
Okay, that's right. So we did that. So look, let's go ahead and we're gonna wrap up this 16.5. But how do you want to end it as far as what you like to say about AEW Dynamite?
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say that
Damon.
AEW, they had a strategy, they planned that strategy well. And I definitely feel like they hit on my main element that I told you way back in the first couple of episodes of the Dear Vince podcast about visual presentation. They exceeded that to the absolute T tonight. Like I said, they had a strategy. They got their strategy together, and I think they executed well tonight. They definitely made a great first impression. And on top of that, too, and I think another thing that we overlooked and didn't mention, AG, was the fact that the show wasn't draining. It didn't even seem like a long show. It actually seemed short.
Yeah, it pissed you off. It pissed me off. It definitely pissed me off. I'm like, fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wanted a 3-hour show.
But that's the beautiful thing about it. You
and
want it more.
It
makes you want to come back next week and tune in and see what the hell else is gonna happen next week. Like that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. The visual presentation. Like, even though it was allegedly a 2-hour show, it didn't feel like a 2-hour show. It felt like a 1-hour show.
Yeah, like 45 minutes to an hour.
45 minutes, man.
Everything was rolling. Another thing that I will say that even in production more, they even incorporated the picture-in-picture. And that was a funny thing because I'm like, fuck. Because I was so pissed because I was like 10 to 12 minutes off because I started cooking something and had it paused. So then I'm like just pressing play. I'm like, okay, I know it. Like after the first commercial or the first two commercials, I could fast forward the commercial and then I'll be back up live. But then they kept doing those fucking picture in pictures. And then in the picture in pictures, I'm not gonna fast forward through the picture in pictures because they're still showing action. I want to see every fucking second of the fucking thing. So it went to like the third or fourth, maybe the third commercial ended up being an actual cut the action just commercial. So
Right.
then I ended up start getting it. I ended up getting it live though. I ended up I went live, or I caught up to the live uh whatever production of it on the Rio match. And
Yeah.
from here on I was boom live. But bet so that's just send off on the show, man. Me,
Yeah, man.
I gotta say, truthfully the same thing. I love the production. I can't wait. I can't wait to just see character like just what do you call it, the character
Development.
development. Yeah, I just can't wait to see how they develop MJF. I can't wait to see how they develop this Cody and
Jericho.
Jericho thing. But at the same time, I want to see what role Sammy Guevara is going to play in it, because
Mhm.
he's definitely been, I'll put it this way, it looks almost like he's been kind of, it's been a plan. It was definitely a planned thing. So now you're gonna get to see like how fucking deep seated in being a heel is Sammy Guevara. Did he have that in mind the whole time? You know what I'm saying? The just uh Adam Page, how is he going to deal with his second loss
Yeah.
when he's supposed to
See
be yeah.
those
Mhm.
cliffhangers, man. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
crazy.
many questions, like
And then,
leading into
yeah,
next week.
and then even Pac and beating Adam Page, like that was almost a revisit to an old rivalry kind of.
Yeah.
Pac
Yeah.
Pac won it.
And then on top of that
They can't
too,
continue that rivalry now. Pac should be like at least top two, number one or number two contender, other than Cody and
that's
other than Cody.
exactly what I was about to say. Like with this win, and not only with this win, but how impressive and how strong Pac
Mhm.
looked in this win. You want to talk about questions? Where does this now, as you alluded to, put Pac in terms of the world title picture? Because man, you gotta at least consider after Full Gear
Yeah,
the way
he got
that Pac,
next.
yeah, you
He
you
got next.
gotta consider after the way he just took out Hangman Adam Page here in the way that he did. You got to figure he's got to at least be the next contender, or he's got to be in that conversation.
Yeah,
But the only weird thing about that is that it's heel versus heel. So it's like, but you
Pac.
know what?
But
But
that's the thing, though. What if Cody wins the whole rivalry with him? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, what if he
Oh.
beats Jericho? Which is, uh,
But then this was kind of a monkey wrench that I got in it, because I was under the impression that no matter how Cody Guevara went, Cody's, because they already made the flyers, they've already been promoting it. But Cody claimed that if Guevara wins, that
he would give
he
the
was
title
giving,
shot to
he's giving,
Navarro.
but it kind of said that he would give him the title shot. So
Right,
that kind of alluded that he's not gonna lose the match. You know what I'm saying?
right.
In a way. But my thing, like, say if I don't want to look too deep into it, it is what it is. Like, yeah, and to be honest, in seeing the amount, I'll put it like this: the top guys, I say Cody, I'll say
Omega.
yeah, Omega, but Omega ain't nowhere close to the belt now, because he has
No,
to deal with Moxley and
right.
probably gonna have other people fuck with him. I think they're gonna make Omega go nuts until he has to turn to the cleaner again. Like, or truthfully,
You know what?
he's gonna have to find his inner cleaner,
You
because he's
know
not
what?
cool
He
anymore.
teased that. I don't know if you saw it or not,
The
but
hair
there's
color?
a photo. No, no, no. There
Mhm.
was a photo he posted online that is kind of teasing him leaning towards tapping back into that cleaner gimmick, because on the photo it just showed a pair of the old cleaner sunglasses or shades from New Japan. So to
Was
your
it on the
point,
table? Was it on the table?
it was on a table.
Go
Yes.
back, go. As soon as we're done, go on the Be in the Elite It's the last matter of fact, it's the last episode of Being Elite. It just went up like yesterday. It's called The Cleaner.
Yeah.
And it was Matt Jackson and the other nigga saying over the phone, like for tomorrow's match, man, like we really need, like, we need something different. We need the cleaner. And then they did a whole thing to where he looked over at the table, the glasses were on the table, and I
That's
gotta leave it at
exactly
that.
what I'm talking about. That's
Well, I'm gonna
exactly
leave
what
it
I'm
at
talking
that.
about.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that then.
Yeah.
You saw that already?
I did. I did.
Oh,
But I
okay.
was saying, like, before I even saw that, I
Mhm.
saw the photo that he posted online of
Mhm.
the shades laying on the table. That's why I was just elaborating to your point of
Mhm.
maybe this is where, this whole story is going with Omega, to where, he's in so much of a slump that out of desperation, he has to kind of turn back into that dark, cleaner character in order to get himself back on track. That's the possible direction they could be going with
Mhm.
Kenny Omega. Because like you said, that's what, two straight losses in a row.
Are you there,
And
man?
then on top of that, yeah, I can hear you.
Sound like a shaking up cereal box.
Oh,
You
but
good?
no, like I was saying, but after a couple of losses, especially this last loss to Pac,
Uh,
and now he's gonna have to face Moxley at Full Gear, which I would not which I would not overlook them having Omega drop another match to Moxley,
yeah,
especially with
I
that
would.
promo,
Could see that
especially
happen.
that promo that he cut on Moxley not too long ago. Um, I definitely wouldn't doubt them, putting Moxley over here, and just like I said, not Moxley, but Omega just going completely insane to the point where he taps back into that cleaner gimmick, and then he finally gets back on track and starts, winning some matches or whatever. But you know what? I actually like the way that they're using Kenny. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so used to being like on top and so used to being in the mix for the world title. It's kind of refreshing to see him
Yeah,
back in this position, having to fight his way back up the
yeah,
ranks. I think
yeah.
that's
Because
going to make good drama
it
as
makes sense.
AEW Dynamite goes along.
Yeah, it makes sense because he had a huge year in
Yeah.
Japan, like
Oh, yeah.
the past 2 years. So it does kind of make it's kind of like a damn vacation, to be honest.
It really is.
I'm saying, yeah, he get the yeah. So I feel you, because that was kind of the only that was kind of the reason why I was like, I kind of didn't like the ending. But then after thinking about it, I'm like, I do fuck with it, to be honest. But I just don't. And it was another thing. I'm like watching my daughter. I made my daughter watch it, and she like, oh yeah, I see what you've been talking about. The matches are better than Raw. The matches are better than Smack. But I'm like, just watch Kenny Omega. I just want you to see like some fresh Kenny Omega footage, like not the shit that I've been showing her. But then it's been the second time, and they're not letting Kenny cook because they're cooking the whole Moxley, you know what I'm saying, set up.
Yeah.
And for that match so much that we're like, whenever, oh shit, he's in this match, but then he's in the match for like 2 seconds, and then he gets jumped or some shit and
Yeah.
gets taken out of the match. But it is what it is, man. AEW Dynamite
Dynamite.
on
Boom. In
TNT,
your
definitely.
face.
That so far they're winning.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, definitely. But we're not even gonna say winning. Or I'm not. I'm just looking at it to where they delivered. How
They
about that?
did.
I
They
think
did deliver.
Raw, SmackDown, they don't deliver a lot of times, but lately they have been. Like the last Raw was decent, but
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of didn't like the Lashley thing. But at the same time, it kind of what. But we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that on the actual podcast. And yeah, definitely delivering. That's all. And that's all I'm gonna say is like whenever we do these impromptu, quick, like I can't say quick because it's been an hour and 8 minutes, but I'll put it this way: whenever we do an impromptu podcast on an actual show, like I'm not going to, especially if it's the AEW branded Dynamite show, I'm not going to say if it won, because for one, I can't say that because I didn't watch the NXT.
That's true. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that either. I
And
was just gonna
also,
say that AEW definitely made a statement.
they
They
made
definitely made a statement,
mhm.
and like you said, they delivered, and they gave, not only their fans but just wrestling fans in general what they said they would give them. They would give them,
and more, and more.
authentic. Yes, they would give them
Mhm,
pure, authentic wrestling. They would make it mean something. In terms of the whole sports oriented atmosphere,
mhm.
and it was gonna be in your face. You know what I'm saying? It was gonna be something completely, different and alternative. As Aaron likes to put it, the machine in WWE.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, they came off. They came off the fucking heroes tonight.
they
I'll
did.
put it like they came off the fucking heroes. Every part or every aspect of that AEW show, from the camera to the back crew to the fucking crew up front of the house crew to the fucking
Oh, and last thing,
everybody.
man, and
Mhm,
last thing that we totally did not acknowledge.
mhm.
Shout out to the damn commentary team, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Tony
definitely.
Schiavone and JR are
Can we
back.
just say? Can we just say them two though? Fuck
Yeah,
that other fucking clown.
yeah. Excalibur, like
But did you notice one thing though? He talked way less tonight with the two goats there,
he did.
because he used to
Yeah.
always on former broadcast he talked a little bit more, but on this one he like the two goat, he just let the two goats go, and then he'll shit he didn't even say a paragraph. If you put everything he said tonight together, I don't even think it's like a small insert at the bottom of a Mad magazine.
Well, I mean, hell, that's why Tony Schiavone and JR are there.
That is what it
all,
is.
all he's there to do is just basically add, whatever sense,
Mhm.
he needs to add. But, it's probably not even that much because, they've got some actual real pros in
Yeah.
there. He was probably just roaming around, not having anything to do. And it was like, well,
It's
we'll
good
just,
when the camera shoots up there. It shows a weirdo with a mask that doesn't know anything. But like shit, the way it is, wrestling, wrestling jargon, wrestling slang. I'm a mark. He's a mark with a mask on television.
right,
Give me a mask, AEW.
right.
Don't ever remember him. Don't ever remember him in the squared circle or fucking managing anyone or anything for that matter. Holy
I
shit.
heard he had a career. Allegedly, he had a career,
I'm
but
about
the
to Google
jury's
it.
still out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But but I just wanted to say that, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kudos to what AG said. Two of the greatest of all time when it comes to pro wrestling commentary. Tony Schiavone, good old JR.
Hell yeah.
It took me back to the WCW days of the 90s when
Mhm.
those two were at the helm,
Mhm.
and it seemed like they didn't miss a beat.
They did.
And I'm glad that Tony Schiavone is there to compliment JR because, I think, and I don't know this for sure, but I think I'm just trying to read like JR's mindset. Like, when you got these two younger up and comers on commentary, I really feel like JR, really isn't as comfortable because it's like, okay, here I go again. I
Yeah.
got to play mentor and,
Mhm.
Sort of like babysitter, and I got to walk these guys through
On
this
how to
whole
on how
entire
to tell a
process.
story, on how to
Exactly.
tell a story and not just say what they're saying in there. Yeah.
Exactly. And not try to be like a bunch of damn marks while doing it.
Mhm.
Unlike Tony Schiavone, who is like a seasoned veteran
Mhm.
as JR is, JR can now kind of relax and breathe because it's like, okay, finally, I have somebody on my level now.
Yeah, and
I
he can
have
have
somebody
he can actually have fun with it.
exactly right,
Mhm.
which is why you saw the way he called the broadcast tonight because he had
Mhm.
somebody there on his level. Now, no disrespect to Golden Boy. Golden Boy is very good, and I think Golden Boy can have a niche like maybe on like Fighter Fest or Fight for the Fallen or whatever type of exclusive events they might do. But as far as just the regular AEW Dynamite broadcast and pay-per-views, JR needs somebody there that is as equal as him. And I think Tony Schiavone is definitely that guy. Like,
Definitely.
you could even see, like, even in the tone of their commentary, like you could tell they match up well. Because
Yeah.
it's almost like the maturity level is right there with both
Yep.
of them. So
So
yeah,
it is
man.
what it is, man. AEW, we got everything cracking, like from the commentary to the production to the fucking in-ring
Action.
performances. We
Yeah.
are good, and we cannot wait to come back next Wednesday. Not sure if it was going to be one of these things, an impromptu little talk of it, a recap of it.
I couldn't
What
help
we
it.
may-
I
No,
couldn't
it's
help
all
it.
good. It's all good. No, I definitely want to do one for the first show. So it is what it is. Unless something crazy happens next week,
Yeah.
tune in probably Friday night, because now that we're doing them live, it's pretty much hop on, you're seeing it as we go,
Yep.
and it uploads. It's not a thing to where we're recording it, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm, you know what I'm saying, editing things and like whatever. Like, so it is what it is. Much easier and truthfully more on spot right now. So
It
it is
really
what it
is.
is. Definitely we'll check in Friday. We should be back with another. It'll be episode 17. Like I said, this was just a half episode.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 17 of the Dear Vince podcast this Friday, where we will talk about, truthfully, a bit of what we talked about tonight briefly.
Mm-hmm.
WWE,
Yep.
Lashley, Lana, Rusev, Firefly Funhouse, Bray
Funhouse.
Wyatt, fucking Finn Balor jumping back over to NXT, Seth
Wow.
Rollins, Brock Lesnar trying to kill, or probably going to kill, Rey Mysterio. Where does Rey Mysterio's career go
Right.
after that?
All of that.
Everything this Friday on the
Yep.
Dear Vince podcast, episode 17. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's me, it's Beer Drink, George Kennebrew.
The wrestling mastermind, the one and only. Once again, thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight and shared comments with us or what have you. Once again, we want to encourage you all. For those of you that see this on the replay, please go and share this on all of your social media, wherever you can share it, and just spread the word. About the new kids in town called the Dear Vince podcast, Beer Drink, and the rest of Mastermind, because we are definitely in for the long haul. And we here to bust y'all ass and state facts, man. That's what we do. So
Hey, we're just two marks trying to make our mark in the wrestling podcast industry. It is what it is. What it was gonna be. We're signing out. Hey, I'm gonna hit you up.
Woo!
Hey, you know what I'm saying?